Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through all the noise and give you, our listener, the real insights you need. Today we're tackling a place that's, well, it's more than just a destination. We're bracing ourselves for Cairo.
Yeah, Cairo. It's intense.
It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just try and paint a picture for a second. This city grabs every single one of your senses right from the moment you arrive.
Totally.
It's not just history books come to life. It's a massive city running at like 100 miles per hour all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this soundscape.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the call to prayer, deeply moving, echoing from hundreds of minarets.
Beautiful, yeah.
And then immediately underneath it, just this constant hum, this symphony of car horns. It's the soundtrack to the gridlock.
It defines the city, that sound.
And the smells.
Hmm.
You know, sizzling street food everywhere, that smoky fil madames, the sharp smell of tamaya frying.
Oh, yeah, the fava bean falafel.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a lot. It truly never stops.
And that sensory overload, that intensity is exactly why we need this deep dive today. Because the stories you hear about Cairo are often, polar opposites.
Right. Either perfect pyramids against a blue sky.
Or these horror stories about chaos, scams, impossible traffic, just warnings. So our mission here, drawing on all the research and experiences, is to get past those extremes. We want to answer that core question for anyone thinking of going: is Cairo actually worth the effort, worth the chaos?
Which brings us straight to what the research calls the Cairo paradox. We kind of have to tackle that head on, don't we?
Absolutely. That's the crux of it, because the most amazing things about Cairo, the biggest rewards, they're completely tied up with the biggest challenges.
You can't separate them.
Exactly. They're two sides of the same coin. The deep history, the incredible street life, it all comes with this intensity. So to really get Cairo, to enjoy it, you first have to accept that. You almost have to lean into this beautiful chaos.
Okay, let's start with the tough stuff. The things that really test you. We mentioned sensory overload. The sources call it a dissonant symphony, which feels spot on. It's loud, it's crowded, it's just relentless energy. You can feel like an assault sometimes.
And that energy, you feel it most in the traffic. Oh, the traffic.
It's not just bad traffic.
No, it's like this huge, complicated dance. Forget lanes mostly. It's all about inches, nerve, and honking. Honestly, if you find chaotic, dense cities stressful, Cairo will push your buttons from minute one. Patience is key.
And then there's the money aspect of the chaos.
Yeah.
The whole culture of Baksheesh.
Right, tipping.
It's so fundamental to how things work there, but if you're not used to it, that constant expectation of a tip can feel, well, a bit much.
Yeah.
Intrusive even.
It can be really tiring, yeah. Because Baksheesh isn't just for big services. Someone gives you directions, points something out, opens a door you could have opened yourself.
A tip is often expected.
Exactly. And in the really touristy spots, Giza, Khan el-Khalili, this can shade into feeling constantly hassled. Vendors can be persistent. And yeah, you do need to be aware of potential scams, little bits of overcharging. It's part of that economic reality you just have to be ready for. Constant negotiation almost.
Beyond the money, there's just the pure culture shock for some people. You see visible poverty, there's dust everywhere, buildings looking like they're crumbling, and it's right next to these world-famous ancient monuments. The research points out that contrast can be jarring. It can definitely make some travelers anxious.
Managing those expectations beforehand is so important. If you go expecting, say, Zurich, you're going to be frustrated instantly.
Right.
But obviously, if the chaos was all there was, people wouldn't flock there. So let's flip this. Let's talk about the incredible rewards you only get in a place like Cairo.
This is where it gets mind-blowing. The history. You are literally standing at the heart of one of the oldest, most important civilizations the world has ever known.
It's profound.
You're walking where pharaohs walked, where Roman governors ruled, where Islamic caliphs built empires. It's this unbroken line 5,000 years back.
That connection to the past, that tangible history, you just don't get that scale in many other places.
But it's not just stones and monuments, is it? The sources keep saying the real magic is the people.
Yes, consistently. Beyond the tourist trail hustle, you find this incredible warmth, genuine welcomes. Egyptians are often really happy to share their city, their food, their culture, even when, daily life can be tough.
It's those little moments, isn't it? They cut through all the noise. Like a shopkeeper offers you mint tea just to chat, no strings attached. Or you share a joke with someone waiting for a bus.
those spontaneous connections, they give you a much deeper feel for the place than any museum label can.
And we absolutely have to mention the practical side.
It's
Affordable.
very affordable, relatively speaking, even now. You can experience world-class history, amazing culture, without the price tag of, say, London or Paris.
That's a huge draw.
And it's important to remember your tourist money. It's vital. It goes directly into the local economy, supporting families, communities. It makes a real difference.
Okay, so let's pull this together. The takeaway seems to be that intense energy, the stuff that makes Cairo difficult,
Yeah,
is also the source of its vibrancy. It's what makes it feel so alive, so human.
exactly. So whether it's worth it, that really depends on you, on your willingness to go in prepared, with patience, with an open mind. If you can see the challenges and the joys as part of the same unique package, then the difficulties become manageable, part of an absolutely unforgettable trip.
And to help manage that initial overwhelm, the payoff needs to be big. And Cairo definitely delivers on that front. Let's start where most people's minds go first. The pharaonic legacy. Time to walk with giants.
Right, the Giza Plateau. Look, this is why most people come. It's the main event. And the analysis is clear. No photo, no video, nothing can prepare you for the sheer scale. Standing next to them is just awe-inspiring.
Let's get specific for a moment. You're there, looking up at the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the last surviving ancient wonder.
Incredible, isn't it? Originally almost 150 meters high, built around 4,500 years ago.
And the Sphinx, just sitting there,
Yeah.
guarding it all, carved from one single piece of rock.
It's iconic. Now, practically speaking, get there early, like right when it opens.
Beat the crowds, beat the sun.
Both. Absolutely. It makes a huge difference to the experience. You get a moment of quiet before the big tours roll in. Cost-wise, the general entry ticket for the whole plateau is 700 Egyptian pounds, EGP.
Okay.
But if you want to actually go inside the Great Pyramid, that's a separate ticket, and it's quite a bit more, 1,000 EGP.
Worth knowing. And what's it like inside?
Well, it's intense, hot, humid, very cramped passages, profound for some, maybe claustrophobic for others. Good to know what you're getting into.
Right. Now, to really grasp how amazing Giza is, the sources say you should look at where pyramid building started. That means heading out to Saqqara and Dashur.
Yes. This really puts Giza in context. Saqqara is where you find the step pyramid of Djoser,
The very first one.
designed by the genius architect Imhotep, yeah? Considered the world's oldest large-scale stone building, dates back to the 3rd dynasty. Entry there is 600 EGP.
And Dashur shows the trial and error.
Exactly. It's like the laboratory. You've got the bent pyramid where they clearly realized mid-construction the angle was too steep and had to change it.
Amazing.
And then the red pyramid. This is the first successful true pyramid with smooth sides. It's much cheaper to get into Dashur, only 200 EGP for the site.
And what's the vibe like at these places compared to Giza?
Much quieter. That's a huge plus. Far fewer people make the trip out, so you can actually wander, reflect, really feel the history without constantly dodging crowds. It's a more contemplative experience, I'd say.
Okay, so from the giant structures to the treasures they held, Cairo's museums are essential. They tell the story. The classic one is the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square.
Ugh.
The old pink building. Iconic. It's been the home for Egyptian antiquities for over a century. Houses something like 120,000 artifacts.
Highlights, obviously, Tutankhamun.
Oh, absolutely. The gold mask, the sarcophagi, they're staggering, even with everything you've seen in pictures. And the royal mummies rooms.
Chilling.
Deeply moving, I think. You're face-to-face with Ramses the Great, Hatshepsut, these legendary rulers. The entry fee is $550 EGP.
But there's a new player in town, right? The Grand Egyptian Museum, the GM. The research calls it a game changer. Why so significant?
Okay, the GM is massive. First off, the scale is enormous, built right near the pyramids in Giza. So the artifacts are finally closer to their original context, away from the downtown chaos.
And the collection.
This is the revolutionary part. The goal is to display Tutankhamun's entire tomb collection, over 5,000 pieces together for the very first time.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can follow the story of the discovery, see items never displayed before. The old museum just physically couldn't do that. It's a huge leap in museum design, technology, climate control, everything. A massive undertaking. And there's one more key museum. The National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, NMEC. Where does that fit in?
The NMEC is in Fustat, another historic area. It takes a broader view than just pharaohs. It covers the sweep of Egyptian history, from prehistory right up to the modern day, more anthropological.
But it has a major draw, too, doesn't it?
It does. The Royal Mummies Hall. This is where those 22 pharaohs and queens ended up after that incredible golden parade ceremony back in 2021.
I remember watching that.
Yeah, it was quite something. They're housed now in this really modern, respectful, state-of-the-art facility within the NMEC. It's designed to honor them.
Okay, let's shift gears. When you move from the ancient sites into the heart of the old city, the whole atmosphere changes, doesn't it?
Completely. You step out of pharaonic Egypt and into this incredible medieval Islamic world. Cairo wasn't just pyramids. It was a major center of faith, learning, trade.
And that brings us to Islamic Cairo. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, right?
Sure.
But it's not ruined. People live and work there.
Exactly. It's a living museum. You absolutely have to start at the Citadel of Saladin, this massive fortress from the 12th century, built to fend off crusaders.
And the views?
Unbelievable. You stand up there, look out over the city, and you totally get why it's called the City of a Thousand Minarets. It stretches out below you.
What's the main thing to see inside the Citadel?
The Mosque of Muhammad Ali. People call it the Alabaster Mosque. Stunning Ottoman design, all gleaming white stone, really different from the older styles you see elsewhere. Entry for the whole Citadel complex is 550 EGP.
And then there's the main artery of this old city, Amu Street.
Yes. This street is incredible. It's about 1 kilometer long, and it has the highest concentration of medieval Islamic monuments anywhere in the world. Mosques, schools, madrasas, tombs.
It's walking down, it must be like stepping back in time.
It is, and the sources say you should see it both day and night. At night, when the mosques are all lit up, it's just magical, really atmospheric.
We should also mention Al-Azhar Mosque. That's hugely significant, isn't it?
Immensely. Founded way back in 970 AD, it's linked to Al-Azhar University, which is the second oldest continuously operating university in the world. It's still a major global center for Sunni Islamic learning.
So much history. Now, within Cairo, there's another distinct layer, Coptic Cairo, Old Cairo.
Right. This is a completely different feel. It's this peaceful, mostly pedestrian area inside the walls of the old Roman Babylon fortress. It's incredibly important for Egypt's Coptic Christians because tradition says the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, stayed here when they fled to Egypt.
What are the key sites there?
You've got the Hanging Church. Its proper name is St. Virgin Mary's Coptic Orthodox Church. It's literally built over a Roman gatehouse, so parts of it are suspended. Really unique.
Wow.
Then underneath, there's the Church of Saints Sergius and Bacchus. Inside that is the crypt where the Holy Family is said to have sheltered. And fascinatingly, you also find the Ben Ezra Synagogue right there in the same complex. It speaks volumes about Cairo's long history of different faiths coexisting.
Okay, and to really dive into the medieval sensory experience, you have to mention the Khan el-Khalili Bazaar.
Oh, absolutely. Prepare yourself. It's this sprawling 14th century market, a labyrinth.
Sensory overload again?
In the best possible way. You've got metal workers hammering, the smell of spices and perfumes, bright lanterns, fabrics, jewelry. It's everything all at once.
And shopping there isn't just picking something off a shelf, right? Haggling is part of it.
It's essential. The sources call it a cultural performance. It's expected. It's part of the interaction. Don't be shy, but be polite and have fun with it.
What if you need a break from the intensity?
Perfect excuse to find a historic coffee house.
Oh,
Like El Fichoui. Apparently, it's been serving mint tea and strong coffee since 1769.
1769. That's incredible.
Right. Sit down, have a tea, watch the world go by. It's been happening in that exact spot for over 250 years. Puts things in perspective.
So the history might draw you in, but it feels like the living, breathing culture of Cairo is what really gets under your skin, makes you connect.
I think that's right. To really understand the city, you need to step away from the ancient stands sometimes and just engage with how people live now.
And sometimes the best way to process all that city noise is to find some quiet on the Nile.
Yes, taking a felucca ride, those traditional wooden sailboats, especially around sunset, it's described as this vital escape.
Gliding on the water.
Yeah, the city noise just fades away. You get these amazing views of the skyline lighting up. It's a really peaceful counterpoint to the daytime chaos. Highly recommended.
And then there's food. Always the quickest way to the heart of a culture, right?
Definitely. And Cairo's food scene is fantastic. It's delicious, it's everywhere, and it's incredibly cheap.
What are the absolute must-tries?
Okay, you have to have kosheri, often called the national dish. It sounds weird, but it works.
Describe it.
It's this bowl of rice, macaroni, lentils, chickpeas, topped with this tangy tomato sauce, vinegar, garlic, and crispy fried onions.
Well, carb overload.
Totally. But it's amazing. So satisfying. Then you've got the everyday staples, baladi bread, that hot, puffy pita bread fresh from the oven. And for breakfast, tameya, the fava bean falafel, greener and maybe tastier than chickpea falafel and fuldo madams. That's a slow-cooked fava bean stew, usually mashed up with lemon, cumin, olive oil. Simple, hearty, delicious.
How do you find the best spots? It can be intimidating just walking up to a street stall.
Good point. The research strongly suggests considering a guided food tour.
Not for fancy restaurants.
No, exactly the opposite. These tours are designed to take you to the authentic local places, the little hole-in-the-wall spots, the best street food vendors that you probably never find or maybe feel hesitant to try on your own.
So it's about cultural insight as much as eating.
Precisely. It turns lunch or dinner into a learning experience. You understand what you're eating and why it's important.
Okay, now pushing beyond the usual tourist path raises some sensitive issues. There are parts of Cairo that offer really deep insights, but you need to approach them carefully.
Very carefully. Like the City of the Dead, it sounds morbid, but it's fascinating.
It's a huge cemetery, right? But people live there.
Yes. It started as a necropolis, with these grand Mamluk-era tombs. But over centuries, because of housing shortages and other factors, people built homes among the tombs. Generations have lived and worked there. It's this unique, sprawling community.
And the other area often mentioned is Manshiat Nasser, known as Garbage City. We need to be really clear about this place.
Extremely clear. This is home to the Zabaleen community. They are not just garbage collectors.
Right.
They are a long-established, mostly Coptic Christian community who created this incredibly efficient, informal recycling system for the entire city. For decades, they collected something like 80% of Cairo's waste and sorted it by hand, achieving recycling rates far beyond official systems.
And within this area, there's something astonishing.
Yes, the cave church of St. Simon the Tanner. It's carved directly into the Makadam Cliffs. It's enormous. It can hold up to 20,000 people. An incredible feat of devotion and engineering in a very unexpected place.
Visiting these places, it's not like going to a museum. There's a huge ethical consideration here.
Absolutely crucial. The sources hammer this point home. These are living communities facing real socioeconomic challenges. You cannot just wander in like it's a tourist attraction. That risks being exploitative poverty tourism.
So how should someone approach it if they genuinely want to understand?
The only responsible way is with a knowledgeable, local guide who has established connections and trust within that community. You need someone who can facilitate a respectful visit, ensure you're not intrusive, and make sure any money you spend actually benefits the residents, not just some random person who latches onto you.
It requires pre-planning and sensitivity.
Absolutely. It's about respect and ensuring your visit is positive, or at least neutral, for the people who live there.
Anything else is irresponsible. All right, let's get practical. Making a Cairo trip work well really comes down to planning the logistics. First, big decision: where you stay. Because your neighborhood choice basically sets the tone for your whole trip, doesn't it? It affects your daily rhythm, how much chaos you're exposed to.
Totally. The analysis lays it out nicely. Downtown Cairo puts you right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Super close to the Egyptian Museum, lots of action,
The downside.
noise, crowds. It can be pretty overwhelming 24/7.
Okay, option 2. Zamalek, the island in the Nile.
Right. This is more upscale, greener, quieter, lots of cafes, art galleries. Feels quite European in parts, generally feels safer too.
Lot.
Traffic bottlenecks. Because it's an island, getting on and off via the bridges can be a nightmare at peak times. You have to factor that travel time in.
What about staying out near the pyramids in Giza?
Perfect if your absolute priority is pyramid views and getting to the plateau super early. You can literally wake up looking at them.
But less local character.
Yeah, it's more functional, geared towards tourists visiting the pyramids, less Cairene atmosphere, fewer local restaurants and shops compared to other areas.
Then there's Garden City. What's the vibe there?
Here's sort of quiet luxury, beautiful old colonial buildings, feels quite grand and leafy. It's central, but feels tucked away. Good if you want calm, but still easy access.
And finally, Mahdi, further out.
Yeah, Manati's down south. It's much more suburban, very green, popular with expats and families. Great for longer stays if you want a more relaxed pace. The trade-off is the commute. It's a fair distance from most of the big historical sites. You'll spend more time traveling.
Okay, accommodations sorted. Now the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Getting around Cairo, dealing with that traffic, seems like a choice between convenience and, well, chaos.
That sums it up. Look, the top recommendation, hands down, is using ride-hailing apps. Uber or Careem, which is the local equivalent.
Why are they so good there?
Reliable, generally safe drivers, and really cheap. Like a half-hour trip might only be 50 or 60 EGP, which is just a couple of dollars. But the killer feature, the price is fixed in the app, no haggling. That removes a massive source of stress for tourists. Huge advantage.
What if you want to beat the gridlock entirely?
Then you need the Cairo Metro. It's surprisingly good, fast, efficient, clean, super cheap. It really is the quickest way across town when traffic is bad.
And you mentioned something for female travelers.
Yes, important detail. They have women-only carriages on the Metro, which can be a welcome option for extra comfort, especially during busy rush hour times.
What about regular taxis, the old black and white ones?
Caution advised. Many won't use the meter, so you must agree on the price firmly before you get in, otherwise you're likely to get ripped off at the end. Negotiation is mandatory.
And the really local options, microbuses, tuk-tuks.
Look, they're the cheapest way to travel, sure, but they're chaotic, often packed, follow flexible routes. Probably not the best bet for a first-time visitor trying to navigate. Stick to Uber Careem or the Metro to start.
So if you have a packed sightseeing day, maybe multiple sites, what's the ultimate stress-free option?
Hiring a private car and driver, ideally with a licensed guide as well. It costs more, obviously. But for efficiency, comfort, and getting local insights on the fly, it can be worth it, especially if your time is limited.
Let's talk budget then. We said Cairo is affordable. Can we put some numbers on that?
Yeah, the sources give a good range for, say, 2025 estimates. If you're a real budget traveler staying in hostels, eating mostly street food,
Kosher diet.
pretty much, you could probably manage on around $60 a day.
Okay. Mid-range, decent hotel, mix of local restaurants, and maybe some nicer meals.
Then you're looking at maybe $175 a day. Still very reasonable for what you get.
And if you want luxury, Nile View Suite in Zamalek, fine dining.
Budget upwards of $480 a day for that level of comfort and service, so there's a huge range depending on your style.
Good to know. And don't forget to factor in side entrance fees. You mentioned Giza is 700 EGP, the Egyptian Museum 550, the Citadel 550. It adds up if you see a lot.
Right. Which is why, if you plan on hitting many major sites, you might look into the Cairo Pass. It's currently $130. You'd need to do the math based on your itinerary, but for heavy sightseers, it could save you money. Okay, navigating Cairo isn't just about transport and money. It's also about cultural awareness. Confidence comes from being prepared, but also from showing respect. Let's cover some key etiquette points.
Top of the list seems to be dress code. Modesty is important.
Very, especially outside the very touristy bubbles or when visiting any religious site. General rule, cover your shoulders and knees. That applies to men and women, and for women, crucially, always have a light scarf with you. You'll need it to cover your hair respectfully when entering any mosque. It's non-negotiable.
What about greetings and general behavior?
A simple assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, is always appreciated. Shows respect. Remember, it's a generally conservative culture in public. Avoid loud, boisterous behavior, and definitely avoid public displays of affection. And a small but important custom, use your right hand for eating, shaking hands, giving, or receiving anything. The left hand is traditionally considered unclean. Easy mistake to make, but good to remember.
Let's talk Baksheesh again, but from the etiquette angle. How to handle it gracefully.
Frame it in your mind not as a bribe or an annoyance, but as part of the social contract in a service economy where wages might be low. It supplements income. The key strategy, always, always have small change. Small Egyptian pound notes and coins. It makes tipping for small services quick, easy, and avoids awkwardness. For restaurants, the standard tip is about 10–15%.
Photography rules seem strict too.
Yes, pay close attention here. Absolutely no photos of military personnel or buildings. Same goes for police stations, government buildings, bridges, airports. Basically, any infrastructure. It's taken very seriously.
And photographing people.
Always ask permission first. Always. It's just basic courtesy. And taking photos of children is strictly forbidden. Don't do it. You could get into real trouble.
Okay, shifting to safety. While serious crime isn't a huge issue for tourists, petty scams are something to be aware of.
Right. Awareness is your main tool. Health-wise first. Absolutely do not drink the tap water. Use sealed, bottled water for everything, even brushing your teeth. Just don't risk it.
Street food. You said try it, but be smart.
Exactly. Use common sense. Go for stalls that are busy, high turnover is a good sign. Make sure food is cooked fresh and hot right in front of you. And maybe stick to fruits you can peel yourself.
What are the classic scams to watch out for?
Okay, at the pyramids, the camel ride scam. They quote, one price to get you on the camel.
And a much higher price to let you off.
Bingo. Agree the total round-trip price beforehand very clearly. Also, beware of people being overly helpful, then demanding a big tip, or people pretending to be officials or guides wanting to see your ticket only show it to uniformed staff at the gate. And the classic. Someone trying to divert you from where you're going, saying it's closed, to steer you towards their cousin's perfume or papyrus shop where things are hugely marked up.
So best defense strategy.
Politeness and firmness. Eye contact. A clear, la, shukran. No, thank you. And just keep walking confidently. Don't engage further. Use Uber Cream to avoid taxi hassles, book tours through reputable agencies or your hotel, and never, ever give your ticket to anyone except the official person at the entrance turnstile. Simple steps make a big difference. #tag outro.
Wow. Okay, so we've journeyed through millennia of history from pyramids to mosques. We've tasted koshery, navigated the traffic, even touched on the complexities of places like the City of the Dead. Cairo clearly demands a lot from you. Preparation, definitely. Patience, absolutely. And a very open mind.
It does. But the sources and experience suggest the payoff is immense. That intensity, those challenges, they're part of what makes the rewards feel so profound. For the traveler who goes in prepared, who embraces the complexity, Cairo isn't just worth it. It's likely to be one of the most stimulating, unforgettable, and deeply rewarding places you'll ever visit.
It gets under your skin, people say.
It really does. It stays with you.
Which brings us back one last time to that Cairo paradox we started with. We talk about how the same economic realities, the need for tourist income, can drive both that incredible Egyptian hospitality and warmth, but also the sometimes aggressive sales tactics, the hassling, the scams. It's two sides of the same coin.
It is. And that leads to our final provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over. We've talked about how Cairo's difficulty, its chaos, its complexities, seems directly linked to how rewarding the experience can be if you push through. So think about this. Can you identify another place, maybe somewhere you've been or dream of going, that operates on a similar paradox, where the very challenge of accessing it or understanding it is part of what makes the experience so valuable? Maybe consider your own travels not just as consuming sites, but as this two-way street, a reciprocal engagement both culturally and economically, something to think about.